Okay, I'll read the first question. Two capillary tubes of different diameter are dipped in water. The rise in water will be height किंवा fall of capillary action is always given as 2t cos theta upon r rho g, where h is the rise or fall of the liquid, t is the surface tension, and theta is the angle of contact between the solid surface and a tangent drawn to the liquid surface. R is the radius of the tube and rho is the density of the liquid. G is the acceleration due to gravity. Now just understand ह्या ठिकाणी ते लिक्विड जे आहे वॉटर ते सेम आहे, ते ट्यूबचं जे मटेरियल आहे ते पण सेम है. जो चेंज हो रहा है वो यहाँ पे क्या चेंज हो रहा है, द रेडियस. ओके, पहला they are saying that the tube was of different diameter, now it is of different diameter. When I say diameter, I can say in terms of radius also, because you know diameter is 2 times the radius. So in this situation, what we understand is, since in the first case and second case the liquid and the material of the tube is same, then in that case the angle of contact in both the cases is constant. जो constant है वो मैं कट करता जाऊंगा, तो this cos theta will be constant. In the first case also it was water, now also it is water, so surface tension will be constant and 2 will be constant. Then water in the first case, second case water, so density of the liquid, that will also be constant. And the experiment is done on the surface of the earth. Okay, here it is not mentioned कि first it was on earth, now the experiment is done on moon, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. So in this case acceleration due to gravity is also constant. So what do we get over here? Yes, we get the height of that capillary action is inversely proportional to the radius. तो आई होप यू आर क्लियर, इसमें समझ में आ गया आपको कि जिसका ट्यूब का रेडियस पतला होगा, ओके, यानी कि जिसका रेडियस कम होगा, पतला होगा मतलब कम होगा, रेडियस कम होगा या डायमीटर कम होगा, उसमें जो हाइट ऑफ और राइज और फॉल ऑफ द लिक्विड होगा, यानी कैपिलरी एक्शन जो होगा वो सबसे ज्यादा होगा. सो नाउ लुक एट द क्वेश्चन. Options are: the rise of water is more in the tube of larger diameter, same in the both the diameters, more in the tube of smaller diameter, zero in both the tubes. So in this case it is very clear, जिसका diameter और जिसका radius छोटा होगा उसका उसमें height of capillary action ज्यादा होगा. Hence the answer is number 3. Okay, look at the second question. I'll read the question for you. Two small drops of mercury, each of radius capital R, coalesces into a large single drop. The ratio of the total surface energy before and after the change is. Now हे question आहे surface tension हा chapter मध्ये. Two small droplets, okay, two small droplets, they are combining or coalescing to form a single drop, okay, and they are asking us total surface energy before and after change. Now you all know the total energy of a drop, total energy, or you can say the total work done in formation of that drop is nothing but given as surface tension into the total surface area of that particular drop, right? So in this case, if I consider the formula is the energy of that drop is surface tension into surface area, but the surface area is a sphere, so 4 pi r square is the total surface area of a sphere. Now in this case let us assume कि वो जो यहाँ पे actually कैसा दिया है, droplet का radius capital R दिया है, but I am reversing it. Generally the droplet का radius we take it as small r and drop का radius as capital R, and it doesn't matter over here because in the options there is no capital R small r, so I can assume anything. For my simplicity let us assume that वो जो छोटे छोटे droplets है ना उसका radius is small r. Then the energy of that single droplet, let's say it is represented as W1, then W1 will be equal to the surface tension of mercury into total surface area of that single droplet, okay, where small r is the radius of that droplet. Same way, what will be the work done or the energy stored inside that single drop? Inside that single drop, the work done or energy equivalent will be W2 equal to surface tension of mercury again, which is going to be the same, into total surface area of that single spherical drop. In this case it will be 4 pi capital R square. Now look at the question, what are they asking us? Ratio. ratio. They are asking us ratio of these two, right? So they are asking us the ratio of these two drops and droplets ka surface energy. So in this case, if I want to find out the ratio, I go this way. W1, which is the energy of a two small droplets. The total energy of the two small droplets will be surface tension of mercury into the surface area of the two droplets. So obviously it will be like 2 into 4 pi r square. And what will be the work or energy equivalent of a single drop? Single drop, it will be surface tension of mercury into single drop. So 1 into 4 pi capital R square. So it's a ratio. In this case, mercury surface tension is same. So tension cancels. 4 pi cancels. And if I just rearrange this, I get W1 upon W2 is equal to 2 R square upon capital R square. Now go on looking at the options. First option आहे का इथे R small r आणि capital R मध्ये नाही. ऑप्शन्स आहे √2:1, 2:1. म्हणजे स्मॉल r and capital R का भी एक रिलेशन होता है. There has to be a relation or a value of small r or capital R which we have to find out. Now for this situation, we always go for second condition. Conservation, according to the conservation of mass. Okay, if I go for conservation of mass, which says that the total mass of the two droplets will be same as the total drop of the single drop. So in that case, mass, you know, is written as density into volume. Okay, so can I say that the density into volume of the two droplets is equal to the density into volume of the single drop? But then density will be same because both cases it is mercury. So can I say that the total volume of the two droplets is equal to the total volume of the single drop? If I consider that situation, so what do I get is that the volume of the single drop will be what? It is a sphere. So 4/3 pi r cube, where capital R is the radius of the single drop, is equal to the total volume of the two droplets. The total volume of the two droplets will be volume 2 times 4/3 pi small r cube. Okay, in this case you can see 4/3 pi cancels, and if I just rearrange small r cube upon capital R cube becomes 1/2. If I take a cube root, I get small r upon capital R is 1 upon 2 raised to 1/3. Now this is small r upon capital R. हमको क्या पूछा है? रेशियो ऑफ द टोटल सरफेस एनर्जी, विच वी फाउंड आउट. इधर तक आके हम अटक गए थे. तो यहाँ पे ये स्मॉल r अपॉन कैपिटल R द होल स्क्वायर की जगह पे we'll substitute this value from here. So what do I get is equal to 2 into, this is r square upon r square, that is small r upon capital R the whole square. Small r upon capital R is 1 upon 2 raised to 1/3. So 1 upon 2 raised to 1/3 the whole square. Right. So that will become, I'll write over here, is equal to 2 into 1 upon 2 raised to 1/3 into 2, that will become 2/3. You have to just apply the law of indices. So according to the law of indices, I will get this will be 2 raised to 1 into 2 raised to minus 2/3, which is nothing but 2 raised to 1 minus 2/3. Okay, which is nothing but equal to 2 raised to 3 minus 2, that is 1/3. So 2 raised to 1/3 is the answer, or it is 2 raised to 1/3 is to 1. So you can see 2:1 not possible, 2:1 नहीं है, 2:2/3 नहीं possible है, 2 raised to 1/3, yeah, this is the answer. So this is the answer. Got it? Surface tension का बहुत simple सा question. Next question. Now this question is from electrostatics. It says which of the following combination of 7 identical capacitors, each of 2 microfarads, gives a resultant capacity of 10/12. Now this is just a time waster sum. Time waster sum क्यों बोलता हूँ मैं इसको? Because in each of the condition you'll have to solve and find out किसका resultant 10/11 आता है. Although we can formulate it, इसको थोड़ा easy कर सकता हूँ. Whenever there are identical capacitors, you know a generalized equation, right? If there are some n number of identical capacitors in parallel, then in that case the resultant capacity will be C plus C plus C plus C plus C n times. Okay, so if there are n identical capacitors, then the total capacity in parallel will be equal to n times C. बराबर. Same way, if there are n number of capacitors in series, then 1 upon Cs will be equal to 1 upon C plus 1 upon C plus 1 upon C plus 1 upon C. That is nothing but n upon C. उसको रिवर्स किया तो Cs will be equal to C upon n. ये कंडीशन तो सबको मालूम है for identical capacitors. Now what they are saying is some resultant capacitors in parallel and some resultant capacitors in series का combination find करना means obviously this plus this means this again has to be in series. Okay, and whenever you consider in series, the resultant capacitance is always given as 1 upon C1 plus C1 upon C2. So in this case, let's say the total capacitance, resultant capacitance is C dash. Then in that case, 1 upon C dash will be equal to 1 upon Cp, where Cp is the total capacitance in parallel, plus 1 upon Cs, where Cs is the total capacitance in series. Now Cp you know is given as n times C and Cs is given as C by n, where n is the number of identical capacitors in parallel or in series. But you can see the number of identical capacitors in parallel and in series are not same. In the first choice only 4 are in parallel, 3 are in series. Okay, so 4 मतलब यहाँ पे parallel में n is 4 and यहाँ पे series में n is 3. So what I'll do is I will take the number of capacitors, however capacitors are there, number of capacitors in parallel I will take it as n1 and the number of capacitors in series let us take it as n2. And in that case this 1 upon Cs, C dash will be equal to 1 upon Cp. Now what is Cp? You know Cp is nothing but n times C. I told you the number of capacitors in parallel, let it be n1. So Cp will be n1 times C. बराबर, यहाँ पे सब्स्टिट्यूट किया तो ये हो जाएगा n1C. And what is Cs? Cs is C upon n, and let's say the number of capacitors in series are something like n2. So this will become like Cs will be C upon n2. इसको रिवर्स करेंगे तो become n2 by C, right? इसको अगर हम लोग सॉल्व करें फर्दर तो what will I get is 1 upon C dash is equal to 1 upon C brackets 1 upon 1 plus n1 n2 upon n1, where n1 is the number of capacitors, identical capacitors which are in parallel, and n2 is the number of capacitors in series. See, I made a formula. Okay, here in this case in physics, understand there is nothing like by hearting formulas. Formulas जैसे चाहिए जब चाहिए आप बना सकते हो. यहाँ पे मैंने फॉर्मूला इसलिए बनाया क्योंकि मुझे हर एक ऑप्शन सॉल्व करके देखना पड़ेगा. तो I have made a simple formula and now I'll solve फटाफट and see which is the right option. So in this case, if I consider the first condition, here n1, the number of capacitors in parallel are 4 and the number of capacitors in series are 3. Okay, n2 is 3. So n1 is 4 and n2 is 3. So if I substitute over here, 4 into 3 कितना हुआ 12 plus 1 कितना हुआ 13 upon 4, 13 upon 4. So what will be the value of 1 upon C dash in the first case? It will be 1 upon C into 13 upon 4. ठीक है, और इसको अगर हम लोग रीअरेंज करके C dash फाइंड करें, so C dash will be how much? It will be 4 by 13 times C. Correct? How much is C? How much is the identical capacitor का value? Each identical capacitor is 2 microfarad. Right? So what will be 4 into 2? 4 2s are 8. 8 into 8 upon 13. तो हमको रिजल्टेंट कितना चाहिए? रिजल्टेंट शुड बी 10 upon 11. So this is not possible. Second option. In the second option, the number of capacitors in parallel are 2. That is n1 is 2 and series में 5. So n2 is 5. So again over here, 2 into 5, 10. 10 plus 1, 11. 11 upon 2. So in the second case it will be 1 by C into 11 upon 2. So C dash will be equal to 2 by 11 times C. So again C is 2. 2 2s are 4. 4 by 11. No, not possible. We want answer as 10 by 11. This is also not possible. Then we come to the next. The third condition. Third condition, n1 is 5 and n2 is 2. So 5 into 2, that is 10 plus 1, 11 upon n1, that is 5. So this will become equal to 11 upon 5. इसको rearrange करके C dash लिखा, that will become 5 by 11 into C. What is C? C is 2. 2 5s are 10 upon 11. So 10 upon 11. 10 upon 11. Yes, this is the answer. हो गया. Fourth condition solve करने का जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, when you get the option in the main examination, no need to waste time. But then in this case we are just solving, analyzing. तो सारे options देख ही लेते हैं. So in the fourth condition, n1 is 3 and n2 is 4. So 3 fours are here. 3 fours are nothing but 12. 12 plus 1, 13. 13 upon 3. 13 upon 3. So this will become C 13 upon 3. So C dash will be equal to 3 upon 13 times C. C is 2. 3 2s are 6. 6 by 13. So not possible. So the answer in this case is the third option. So I hope you are very clear with this question. Okay? As I told you, it's a time waster. हर ऑप्शन सॉल्व करके देखना पड़ेगा. So I hope you are very clear with this answer. Okay, moving on to the fourth question. If a star emitting yellow light is accelerated towards the earth, then to an observer on the earth it will appear. Now this is a clear question on the concept of Doppler effect. Doppler effect, you know, is applicable for both the kinds of waves, sound waves as well as for the light waves. When I talk about sound wave or light wave, what is the Doppler's concept? I hope you know that. The source which produces the sound or the light, or the observer, or relatively both, if they are moving towards each other, whenever they are moving towards each other, like in sound, when a source producing the sound is moving closer and closer, the frequency will go on increasing. Same with light. So when the source or the observer or both of them are moving towards each other, then in that case the frequency always increases. And whenever the source or the observer are relatively moving away from each other, then in that case the frequency goes on decreasing. Now also, you know, the speed of that wave remains same, and you know speed is given as frequency into wavelength. So if speed remains same, then you know that frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional to each other. So in the case whenever the source or the observer are relatively moving towards each other, then the frequency increases or the wavelength decreases. Okay? And whenever they are moving away from each other, then in that case the frequency decreases or wavelength increases. Now we are talking about light over here. Now whenever you talk about light, please remember one thing, that compared to wavelength of red light and wavelength of blue light or violet light, wavelength of red light is larger than compared to blue light or violet light. So please remember this, okay, whenever a star or a light producing source is moving away, okay, I do the second case, away. When it is moving away, what happens to the frequency? It decreases and the wavelength increases. Wavelength increases means I can say wavelength moves towards red light. Means that kind of an effect is called as the red shift. Okay, this is called as the red shift whenever they are moving away, and that is actually verifying the Big Bang theory. Big Bang theory, what it says, okay, the entire universe is like a bang, a blast, and everything is relatively moving away. That's why the color of the stars and the most of the farthest planets, they appear reddish orange. Why they are appearing reddish orange is because of the red shift. They are moving away from each other. Wavelength is increasing and towards red light. Same way, now in this situation, what they are saying is, okay, the star which is emitting the light, star emitting the yellow light, it is moving towards the earth, towards the earth. When it is moving towards, the frequency will increase or the wavelength will decrease. Now wavelength will decrease means wavelength will be moving towards the blue light, right? So moving towards the blue light matlab in this case, as I told you that red light wavelength is larger than the blue light wavelength. Whenever they are moving towards, the wavelength tends towards blue light, and this kind of an effect is nothing but called as the blue shift. And the other way around, whenever the star or the light producing source is moving away, then in that case it is tending towards the larger wavelength or reddish light, and that's called as red shift. So it's very clear, यहाँ पे बोला है towards. So towards मतलब you have to just make a choice between 3 and 4. 3 says gradually changes to blue and 4 says changes to red. So in this case, obviously towards matlab it changes to blue. So the answer is 3. So I hope you are very clear with this, the Doppler's effect, right? Now moving on to the next question, fifth question. I'll read the question. The kinetic energy of revolving satellite mass m at height equal to thrice the radius of Earth r is how much? Kinetic energy. Okay. of what? Revolving satellite at a height equal to thrice the radius. Height equal to thrice the radius matlab height from the surface of the earth of that satellite is 3 times the radius of the earth. Okay, this is one condition which is given to us. I'll require this at the later end. Now, all of you know what is kinetic energy, right? Kinetic energy is what? It is half mv square. Now, this satellite is revolving in a circular orbit. Whenever a satellite revolves in a circular orbit, its velocity, linear velocity, is nothing but called as a special name. Boards mein pada hoga aapne. It's called as critical velocity, right? So, in this case, can I write the kinetic energy of satellite as half mvc square, where vc is the critical velocity? And you know what is vc? Critical velocity ka formula also you have done in your boards. Critical velocity, I am not deriving the whole formula. Some of the formulas we almost by heart because they are standard formula. So what is the standard formula for critical velocity of a satellite at a height? It is given as root of capital Gm upon r plus h, where r plus h is the radius of the orbit in which the satellite is revolving, taken from the center of the earth, right? That is r plus h. Now in this case, it's vc square. So if I just do squaring on both sides, I'll get vc square is equal to what? Root will cancel, it becomes gm upon r plus h, right? Now this value now I will substitute in place of vc over here. In place of vc square, I'll substitute this capital gm upon r plus h, and इसको थोड़ा rearrange करके लिखते हैं. So you can see I have rearranged. So it becomes half capital gm gm into small m upon r plus h. Now in this case, this is the answer of kinetic energy. But look at the options. Okay, every time look at the option. तुम्हाला काय आन्सर भेटते ते इम्पॉर्टंट नाही आहे, तुम्हाला काय पाहिजे ऑप्शन मध्ये काय आहे ते बघायला अत्यंत आवश्यक आहे. ओके, यू हॅव टू मॅनिप्युलेट द ऑप्शन्स. Okay, as per the options you have to get the answer. Now look, kinetic energy I have got in terms of capital G, and option मध्ये कुठेही capital G नाही, किंवा ऑप्शन मध्ये बघा all the options may answer is in terms of small g. Means you have to replace this capital G by small g. Means there should be a formula of small g in terms of capital G, and that you know ना. एक formula था ना, small g on the surface of the earth is given as what? Capital G m upon r square. This formula you know. Okay, and here small g is the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. So if small g is gm upon r square, then in that case, this entire thing, this entire gm will become what? It will become gr square, right? So this kinetic energy will become finally what? It will become half into gr square into small m upon 2 into, now into r plus h. Now what is h? H is nothing but 3r. So 3r plus r will become 4r. So that's why we have written 4r over here. Now this is a very simple multiplication. You have to just rearrange and find out the answer. So if I take this m in the beginning and I write it as m into g into r square. Okay, one r will cancel here. You can see, right? So we'll get r upon 2 into 4. That becomes 8. And that is the answer. So the answer in this case is what? The answer in this case is nothing but this fourth option, mgr upon 8, and that is the calculation. So I hope you understood this.